This short video is intended for a newly qualified solicitor, perhaps a trainee, who's looking for a career in what I think is the most exciting area of law, and that's criminal defence. So, as things stand, you are interested in criminal law. You may be working at a criminal law firm. You may be working at a larger firm with a criminal law department, and you want to develop. You may have a particular interest in certain stages of the criminal process, for example, the investigation, the police interview, the magistrates' court or Crown Court litigation. You may have an interest in different types of criminal offences, serious criminal offences, sexual offences, fraud offences, regulatory offences, and you want to develop. The key thing now is for you to look at how you can take control of your career development. And at Olliers, that's something that we encourage all our young solicitors to really focus on. You certainly need a degree of patience. I think it's important that you have a good, solid grounding in all stages of the criminal justice process. So ideally, you should be working towards being accredited to represent people at the police station. You should be experienced in pre-charge engagement, and at Olliers we've actually got an internal pre-charge engagement accreditation. You should have a level of magistrates court experience. I don't necessarily think you need to be a duty solicitor. And you should have a solid working understanding of the Crown Court litigation and the digital case system. Once you've got that, then you can start to think about what really interests you and which areas you might think that you're best at, and then go on to think about which types of law you're particularly interested in and which specific types of offences you're interested in getting involved in. I think the next thing is then to both create and seize opportunities to work in areas that you're enjoying and developing specialism in. So at Olliers we've got lots of departments that deal with different areas of criminal defence work. Smaller firms might not be in the same position, but there will be opportunities for you to work on cases that you enjoy. And when you get that opportunity, you've really got to make the most of it. So if you've worked on an interesting case, you've then got to use that case potentially to do a blog about it, to develop a web page about it, possibly to create some training content about it, and then to get it onto your profile and really promote yourself as having some involvement in that kind of work. And then internally, you've got to look for work colleagues to expose you to more cases of that particular work type. So it could be any kind of offence, but you really need to push yourself in that particular area as then you start to develop your specialism within that area. The next thing you've got to do, and some people are really good at this, but some people find it harder, but you really must make the effort to develop your personal brand on social media. So within the professions, you need a good, solid LinkedIn profile. You need to embrace Twitter, you need to look at Instagram, you need to look at TikTok, you need to look at getting your profile on Linktree, and however naturally it comes to you, you've really got to at least get out there and make some effort with your personal brand, and also sharing and circulating the content that I'm suggesting you really should be generating as a consequence of your exposure to interesting cases. But beyond that, your participation in events and functions and things that are relevant to your area of specialism. And I'll talk about that a little bit in a moment. The next thing you need to focus on is your networking. You really do need to get out there. So if you're a young solicitor, maybe the trainee solicitors group local to your area, alternatively the young solicitors group local to your area. Within your area of specialism, You should be looking to whether, for example, the Fraud Lawyers Association, Women in Criminal Law, not for everyone, the Association of Regulatory Lawyers. You look for something that's relevant to your specialism. It can go on your profile, you participate in the event, and you get known within your particular area. Then you can look at whether you can approach professional organisations, you could look at whether you can deliver training, and ultimately you may feel that you can start to develop media contacts. It's also really important that you look at whether you can nominate yourself for legal awards or directories. There are plenty of awards that offer opportunities for young solicitors. So you can have a trainee of the year at a particular award ceremony, young solicitor of the year, case of the year. Your department could be put forward and you could encourage colleagues to prepare a submission in relation to your department. And it applies equally to directories as it does to awards. And it's a really good way of raising the profile of the firm and getting people to take notice of the firm and of you. So hopefully you can see that at Olliers we really do encourage our junior lawyers to take control of their careers in law, and if you can do that, I think you'll have a great career ahead of you. And perhaps to wrap up, if any of you want to contact me to discuss this further, and you probably speak to members of staff, my colleagues, we're more than happy to assist.